And like you said, asking questions is so important to actually grasping things and
Yep. Yep.
understanding, building that knowledge and context.
Yeah.
But again, I stunted that because I just felt like, why, like, if I do this, then it looks like I'm an idiot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
According to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And that, of course, you're in your head about that, but that's genuinely what I thought for a very long time. And then when I started opening my eyes, you grow up inevitably as a minority, you start to see like life for what it is.
Yeah.
And so when you start to notice a lot of times when you're the only person and it's everything starts clicking and then you read things online and then you're just like, oh yikes, maybe I am the only person like me who's doing this. And it really like settled in like college. I was like, oh, it's just, obviously it's not just me out here, but I don't see a lot of people who look like me doing this,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not gonna lie, I think it motivated me.
Yeah.
I didn't take it, of course people say things and you're more motivated to be the best maybe out of a place of insecurity because it's like I mentioned earlier, it's like I can't not be good because if I'm not good, the next time somebody who looks like me walks in the room, I can't have somebody else thinking
Right.
that they're not good. I need them to think that they're really good because of me,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
um and so, yeah, I would say like it was a motivation to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna represent my people. I'm gonna represent me, but also the ones who are like me that are coming after me.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more like, oh, I'm doing this for the girl who I don't even know exists yet, but I know there's one who's gonna be like me again and again and again. So I gotta do this right. I gotta lock in. I gotta do my best.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the perspective I looked at it for a long time. It was more like I don't know, it was weird. I don't know if it's because 'cause I'm an older sister or I'm the oldest.
Mhm.
It's like a weird kinda like not protection, it's weird. I don't know how to describe it
Yeah.
because it's like, I just wanna do this really well,
Yeah.
so then that way people after me
Yeah.
don't have to make excuses for me or make excuses for themselves or overcompensate because of something I did
Right.
or somewhere I fell short, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, like, egotistical, but
No, no, I
but
think
just like
I mean it's your motivations what was driving you. So I think that's valid. Um GSU, is that a HBCU?
it's funny, that you asked that question.
Yeah.
I would say it's one of somebody it was like, PWI is like PWI is like predominantly white institution.
Hmm.
I think Georgia State is like a P is it a PBU? I don't know if that's still true though. I don't know if it's not an HBCU because it's not historically black only college,
Yeah.
but we have a large amount of minorities that attend the college,
Yeah.
whether that be international students or, African American, you know,
Yeah.
African, South Asian, you know, all kinds of people.
Yeah. So based on that, the reason why I asked that, it's like from a college that's as diverse as that and still being like a major minority in the program that you're in, just imagine now you have an institution that doesn't have as much diversity. Um, and this is not 2003. This
Mm,
is not 1999. This is like in the late 2000s, or 2019,
mm,
20. And to me, I mean, it screams that there needs to be more representation, but also needs to be more exposure, I think, as well. And that's kind of the reasons for Africans in Tech we're talking about. Your experiences, it matters because somebody else might be going through the same exact thing, somewhere else. Like, am I the only Muslim woman that's like
you
in a tech
know,
space?
and that's
So
totally valid. Yeah, exactly. I think, and to your point, that's kind of why I started Muslims in Motion because it's like being the only person in these rooms,
yeah,
you start to wonder, is somebody going through my
right,
experience? Even if logically, yes, somebody, then it's a numbers thing.
right,
Obviously, maybe somebody out there.
right,
It makes a difference when you're actually hearing from somebody who's going through it, somebody who you see the person, you can even talk to them, reach
mhm,
out to them.
yep,
It's different,
right,
and that's why I appreciate like the initiative that you're doing because it's like these things are important.
yeah,
I know people say like, oh, representation, but it does matter.
Right.
It does, and it counts for something. Because even if it's one person who logs on or scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and sees what you're doing, I mean, that's already a difference.
Right.
Even if one person sees that person's at and DMs them and asks them about that, that's still impact.
Yep.
These things are important. And like you said, it does speak to just exposure, right? Because a lot of times, I was talking to somebody about this, a lot of people don't even realize they can do things until they see somebody that looks like them doing it.
Yep. Yep.
A lot of things we grow up, we're pre-conditioned to think you have a certain role, you have a certain lot in life, whatever.
Yeah.
Now it might take you maybe longer than the next guy to do it or the next girl to do it, but that doesn't mean it's not meant for you,
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of times, if you're limited by that belief, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we limit ourselves in so many ways we don't even realize.
Right.
It can be subconscious, it can be conscious, but it's still there and it's still real.
Right.
You don't think you can do it, or you don't see someone that looks like you doing it. I mean, for all you know, let's say you see people like you, all they do is or they're all bakers, like all your life. You only saw Sierra Leoneans be bakers, right?
Yeah.
Then when you see one Sierra Leonean who's an F1 driver,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I never thought about being an F1 driver, but now that I see it,
Right.
it's happening.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. And I kind of could see myself being an F1 driver,
Yeah.
It's like weird. The human brain is so interesting, but like these are the things that we need, long
Yeah.
story short, to make, I don't know, to just improve that. How do I say this? Like to kind of make sure that when the next generation comes, when somebody else comes along, we keep it going, right? I think these things are so important.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the ability to like expand one's horizons. I think it's extremely important because when we also talk about this on the podcast.
Mhm.
The four, maybe five, professional disciplines that Africans typically known for. You're you're engineer, you're a doctor, lawyer. But if you're not one of these things, it's like, what are you? But over time, we started seeing that no, engineers can make a lot more than a doctor.
Yep.
And then you have entrepreneurs that can make a lot more,
Mhm.
content developers that can do, XYZ numbers more. Um, but it's a matter of being good at what you're doing, and then also seeing somebody else succeed at XYZ, and somebody that looks like you, that
Mhm.
has same background, things like that, and then it gives you more motivation. And I think uh, from the tech standpoint, we're starting to penetrate, and I wouldn't say start, like we're penetrating more into that space, across the continent now,
Mhm.
where people are seeing that, hey, so and so Hawa is she's doing this great things. Why don't you be like Hawa?
No,
You know,
seriously.
yeah. She's such a
Yikes.
special woman. Then it's
Giving
like,
me flashbacks.
yeah, see, so now it's like it's things like that where I think it's very important because
Mhm.
you know it it validates you in a sense of, okay, I'm doing the right thing, and somebody else is getting um confirmation that they can do this as well, but then also helps push the next generation to say, okay, there's a young woman here, a Muslim woman, that's doing this thing, and she encountered a lot of these hurdles, but she was able to overcome, and I know I can do it as well. So that's really dope. Yeah.
Hey, what up, fam? This is Saul Levy, host of Africans in Tech, where we're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. Just a quick reminder for those who've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. You can catch all of our content, including our whiteboard sessions, where you'll find our full-length videos on our channel. And hit that notification bell, fam. All right?